Now let's talk about formatting. In Excel, there is one place and only one place you need to go to work your formats, and that is the Format Cells dialog. If you look at your Home tab and then you take a look at the font group or the alignment group or the number group, they all have these buttons down in the bottom right corner. Any one of these buttons will take you to the Format Cells dialog box. When I click the one on the font, it'll take me to the Font tab of Format Cells. When I click on Alignment, it'll take me to the Alignment of Format Cells. When I click on Number, it takes me to the Number tab of Format Cells. But they're Format Cells nonetheless. So all you need to do is just bring this up any way you can, and it's your one-stop shop for all your formatting needs. Let's try some of these. I'm going to come out and click on the value 20 here in my quantity column, and I will come out and just click on any one of these buttons to bring up the Format Cells. I'm going to go to the Number tab, and I'm going to change this to Currency. Under Currency, I would like to show 4 decimal places, and I'd like to have it set up so that if it goes negative, it'll have the red brackets around it, as well as it'll turn to the color red. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Before I do, I can see a sample up here at the top of what this is going to look like. I'll go ahead and click OK, and I see this applied. 4 digits to the right, $sign. If I come up and happen to make this negative by putting a negative value in front, it turns red, as you would expect. Now, to get rid of this format, I could come out and I could click on this guy and I could click on Clear Formats. The problem is if I had a format on here already before that I liked, I just applied this ugly format that I don't like. By clearing the formats, it's going to clear all the formats, even the one that I had before. A way around this might be to use the Format Painter. If I can find a cell that has the format that matches the original format I had before applying this ugly format, I can click on that cell, click on the Format Painter over here on the left, click on the cell in question, and it will go ahead and change it back to the format that I'm interested in here. Let's say I'd like to add some leading zeros out in front of my numerical values here. Well, you know what happens in Excel. If you type in leading zeros, it's not going to display them for you. You're just going to get that without the zeros. But you can use a formatting technique to plug this in. I'm going to come out here, I'm going to click on just this number right here, and I'm going to go out and click on any one of these guys to get into my format cells. I'm going to go to the Number tab, and I'm going to click on Custom, and up here at the top under General, I'm going to highlight that and just type in 4 zeros. And what this says is that if there's a digit, print the digit. If there's not, print the 0. Display the 0, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Shows you the sample up here at the top. I'm going to click OK, and now I see that I have a leading 0. From here, I could go ahead, click on this guy, click my Format Painter, click the top, drag down, and they all have leading zeros. Keep in mind, the leading zeros don't actually exist in the cell. If you click on a cell and look, you can just see the number that's there. It's just a formatting trick to show the leading zeros, but none of this would happen inside of a computational type of an environment at all. So it's only for your on-screen viewing pleasure. To take these off, I will click on a cell that doesn't have leading zeros. I will click on the Format Painter, and I will click and drag down to apply that format and essentially take those formats off. Let's take a look at how to wrap text inside of cells. If you take a look at my product names out here, I have Jack's New England Clam Chowder, Scottish Longbreads. These guys are fairly wordy. If I come out here and shrink down the size of this column, you'll see basically it just cuts off this text. Even if I come out here and change the size of this thing, it still cuts it off. I'd like to have this thing wrap around inside of here, so when I stretch it out, I can actually see it wrap inside of the cell, almost like a Word for Windows document, the way it wraps in a paragraph. So how can I make this happen? I'm going to come out here and select the cell or the cells. I can do several at once. Come up, bring up my Format Cells dialog. Another way to bring up the Format Cells dialog is just to make your selection, right click and choose Format Cells. You could bring it up that way as well. So I'm going to go ahead, select my cells. I'm going to come out here and choose Alignment under Format Cells dialog, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this text, and I'm going to click OK. Now, when I shrink this guy down, it still cuts it off. But if I were to come out here and select these rows and resize them, you would see the text start to wrap inside of the cells here that I have. To take this out, I'm just going to go ahead and select the same cells I had before. I will come back out and choose Format Cells, and under Format Cells and Alignment, I'm going to choose to uncheck the wrap text. I'll click OK. Best fit these lengthwise, select these guys, best fit these height, and I'm back to normal.